Welcome to Kiwi Food Store podcast, where we bring our producers and suppliers to come and share their stories, what caused them to start their business, and hear their wonderful stories. And today we have a very special guest, a celebrity, Dr. Lisa, dog by Dr. Lisa. Lisa, welcome to the program. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for taking the time to come out and spend the Saturday afternoon with us.
No, it's absolute pleasure. I'm so happy that we're in your stores. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. You have amazing. I would love to hear about your. How do you go about inventing these products? Such a innovative. When I first came across your products, I felt like, wow, who is this person came up with these products for pet care, for cats and dogs, and weed cleaner and wipes and other products. I'd love to, how long have you been in business? What caused you to start this business?
So I've been a vet for a very long time, a clinical veterinarian. I work in the emergency department in a busy hospital, and I've also done some work in the media and spend a lot of time teaching people about their pets. And I have 3 dogs and a cat myself, and I wanted to bring a range of products to consumers that are exactly what I would use on my own pets and on my own patients.
Yeah. So what's your range currently?
So we have quite a broad range. We've got skincare and grooming products, and then we've got lifestyle products, and then we've got some health products.
Yep.
In the dog space and in the cat area too.
Yep. Tell me about, I want to hear more about the wipes for cats.
The wipes. You know, cats are pretty good at grooming themselves, but sometimes when they need a little bit of help, so when they're old or they're sick or they're injured or they're kittens, they can get quite messy. They may not be able to reach those areas when they're old or they're sick, and using some wipes can actually help remove any surface debris and dust and dead skin cells. If you combine that with brushing them, it can really help keep their coat nice and clean.
Okay. Need to learn a lot more about the pets. Where does your passion for pets come from? You got 3 dogs and 1 cat, and you got 4 children. Big family.
Yes. Look, since I was a kid, I've always just had this innate love for animals. My grandmother was the same. My dad's the same. It's kind of, our kids are the same. It's just been passed genetically down our family. We have this yearning to be with animals and this bond with them, and becoming a vet for me was a way that I could fulfill that.
Yeah. All like animals or just dog and cats?
I have a real soft spot for dogs and cats, obviously, but my love for animals extends pretty far. You know, there's something about the fact that they can't really talk to us, and we can, you know, getting that unconditional love, especially from dogs and cats, that they're there and they're loyal, and they're, you know, it's a pretty simple relationship that gives us a lot of joy.
Yeah. Are dogs more loyal than cats? Because I know dogs are always considered a very faithful, loyal to their...
Yeah. So look, dogs are the type of animal that want to please their owner. They really are doing things for that reward and to try and do the right thing for, you know, anticipating what you want them to do. Whereas cats are a lot more independent. They tend to do what they want when they want.
Okay.
But in terms of individual dogs and cats, it's so varied. Some of them are so affectionate and they want to be with you all the time. Others are a little bit more aloof.
Yep.
Some don't want to be pat at all. So it's really just on an individual level how different they can be.
Yeah, so that's just the different breeds of dogs.
Not even breeds, it's personalities.
Okay.
So, you know, you can have, say, people from different countries, and within that, everyone's got a different personality. It's the same type of thing. The dogs might not look the same because they're different breeds, but individually, we never kind of categorize them in terms of personalities relating to their breeds. It's more about, okay, what can that individual dog, how did that individual dog connect with me?
Yeah. And cats?
Same thing. They've all got such different personalities. You can get what we call like Velcro cats, where they just want to be held and cuddled, and then others that just, you know, don't even want you to touch them.
Yeah. How long do the cats live? I don't know.
The lifespan of cats is it's variable, but anywhere between, say, up to 14 years, 16 years. I mean, I've seen cats live till 21, 22, come into the vet hospital, so it's pretty amazing.
Well, so they live longer than the dogs?
As a population, generally, yes.
Okay.
Obviously, cats that go outdoors have shorter lifespans than cats that are kept indoors only, just from a safety point of view and what they're exposed to. But yeah, cats that are well cared for can live very long lives.
Yeah. Do you breed them as well? Do you breed dogs and cats? No.
So I've got 2 of our dogs that are from a shelter, so they're rescue dogs.
Okay.
And yeah, no, certainly.
Yeah. Have you had to go through experience when you raised like a little baby, and then they've lived their full like age, and then had to?
Yeah. So look, I mean, in terms of, I haven't ever had a family litter of dogs myself, but I've worked as an emergency vet.
Yeah.
I've had lots of situations where I've had to help dogs give birth because the puppies are stuck, kittens are stuck within a cat, whether they've had cesareans. So, we'll be resuscitating these little newborn babies and then get them home to their owners. So yeah, the dogs that I've had tend to be a bit older than that.
Yeah. And you end up, like being humans, we become attached to almost everything. But say the living things more importantly, do you feel attached to your pets just like the babies?
100%. My dogs and cats are like my children. In fact, people often ask me, who do I love more?
Oh, okay.
No, we love them all.
Yeah. At times you may feel like you like the dogs and the cats more.
Kids are giving me a hard time.
Oh, no.
I know who I gravitate to. But and the thing is, the kids love the dogs and cat as well. It's just for the children to grow up with pets in the house is a really remarkable thing for them.
Yeah. So your kids love the pets. They help out.
Oh yeah, especially the cat. The cat we've only had for a couple of years, and the kids really love the cat. We've always had dogs before.
Yeah.
There's something about this cat that they've all fallen in love with her. But yeah, they'll help me. We'll take the dogs out for a walk, or if the cat needs to be fed, or the dogs need food.
Yeah.
Their favourite thing to do is just cuddle up to them on the couch. And our animals are really affectionate, and they love being around children because they've grown up with the kids as well.
Yeah. We never had a pet in our house ever. We're not a pet family.
Okay.
But I was warming up to it.
Podcast, you might be.
Yeah, I think so. I was warming up to it last week. I was thinking, okay, we've got a big house and have a field, and we've got a big backyard, and yeah, we could have one. But my wife was like, no, you got to do all the work. You got to help me out. Don't put it on me. Not me, telling my daughter. My daughter's 10.
Oh, she can help. I've got
she's
a 9-year-old daughter, and they absolutely help.
Yeah, and she goes, no, Mum, I'll take care of it. She goes, yeah, now, but not after.
They will. I think if you empower them with that responsibility, and you get your kids involved in training them and teach them how to feed them, how to groom their coat, how to train them, then it gives them this sense of responsibility that they grow up with. And I think kids will, if you set out that foundation well, then we'll continue to do that for a long time.
Yeah, obviously you're a vet, so do they really need that much like a pet care products and a food and just generally speaking, or they can just eat normal human food and just live a normal life?
Yeah, so dogs and cats need to eat dog and cat food because they have very different nutritional requirements to people.
Okay.
And if we don't give them the right nutrients, particularly amino acids, they can actually develop long-term health issues, whether it's related to their heart or their neurological system. It's really important that they are getting something that's appropriate for their species.
Yep.
You shouldn't be feeding a cat dog food, for example, because that can also be disastrous for them.
Okay.
And yes, they need a lot of care, and they cost a lot of money to take care of. So, and you also need to care for them for their lifespan, whether it's 10 years or 15 years. You've got to be in it for the long haul. So it's about forward planning, and I'd much rather people say, look, I don't have capacity to take care of a pet in my life and not get a pet, rather than get a pet
and not care.
And then in a few years' time realize I can't take care of it, and then they end up in a shelter. And we've got a huge population of pets in shelters that need homes, and a lot of it is to do with people not realizing the vast requirements that they have.
Yeah. Do you find pets are very lucky being in Australia as well, compared to in a lot of countries? The dogs and cats generally eat the same food as humans.
Yeah, look, in Australia, we are really good at taking care of our pets, and that's why they live really long lives. And we're in a very well educated society in terms of what the pets need. And our medical services for pets are very cutting edge, and as are the products that are available to them. So in Australia, people tend to treat their pets like they're members of their family.
So for example, we also have the highest life expectancy in the world as humans, Australians. Do you have a number for pets compared to, say, other countries?
Now you're quizzing me. I would say, as far as developed, we're up there with all the other developed countries in terms of how long our pets live. Australia, the USA, UK, we tend to have a pretty good health record, and obviously other countries that I haven't mentioned. But if we focus on preventative care and the right nutrition and the right sort of general health care, then your pets are going to have a really good chance to live as long a life as possible.
And so we touched up on food, but let's get into more about your shampoos and other pet care products that you have. They're different from, say, human shampoo, and why do they have to have a pet, like a dog shampoo?
So I think from our perspective, it's more about how they're different from a lot of the previous dog shampoos that are out there, because in the past, pet brands, or it didn't get the best ingredients. It was always supposed to be, cheap and whatever you can throw in there with harsh preservatives and chemicals and things that damage their skin. In fact, the less you do with your dog's coat, the better it will be, because it allows their skin to do what it's supposed to do. So our products are actually really similar to baby products that you'd use on a baby's hair and baby's skin. They're very mild. They don't have any harsh preservatives or chemicals or harsh soaps. And they're designed to just gently cleanse the skin and moisturize the coat and the skin so that it can function the way that it should. So it's different you shouldn't use human products on pets because they've got a different pH of their skin. But in terms of the types of ingredients that we've used in it, are as good as any higher quality human brand.
So what about say, for example, do they actually need a shampoo or pet care compared to, say, dogs out in the wild? They don't use any of that, right? They're just the rainwater.
The thing, so our brand philosophy is all about trying to tell people not to wash your dog too often. So obviously if they've rolled in something that's revolting and they're covered in mud, there are times you're going to have to give them a wash. That's why we made these wipes, because our dogs are in our family homes, they're on our beds and on our sofas, and if they do get muddy or dirty, we want to obviously not completely dirty our homes. So the wipes are there as this really easy way to start clean them and freshen them up and clean around their mouth after they've had a delicious meal, without having to bath them every time, because we really don't want to be bathing them too often.
How often do you recommend for bathing a dog or a cat?
Like if you've just got a regular family pet, family dog, probably don't need to do anything more than every 4 to 6 weeks. If you've got a dog that's got short hair and that you can easily wipe down, you probably don't need to wash them at all, unless they've obviously rolled in something revolting. Obviously, if you've got a dog that's got a fluffier coat, they need to go to their dog groomer and get regular haircuts, and they'll wash them at that time. And then obviously if there's people who are got professional show dogs and things, they fall into a different category altogether.
I love the dogs with the bow tie and all their party dress-ups and everything. That's a new trend. Have you noticed? Like I see it across many suburbs where our shops are, where you see dogs in a cafe. They're like nicely dressed up, bow ties and beautiful dress.
I think people like to have a bit of fun with their pets. If they think of them as children in their family, they like to accessorize them. Whether or not the dog enjoys that, I mean, they're pretty compliant most of the time. But certainly wearing like little jackets and t-shirts can be really handy. Like if your dog's had recent surgery or they've got itchy skin, sometimes putting a light t-shirt on them can protect those areas that you don't want them to lick. And then obviously there's some dogs that get really cold, and being in a jacket in winter can really help them.
And say, for example, do you think the dogs and cats, when they are dressed up, do they realise that they're being dressed up like the human babies?
Look, I don't think dogs have the social perception of what clothes are in the same way that we do. So yes, it's not necessarily and on a needs basis, but if people want to put something fun on their pet and that's not bothering the pet, then why not?
Yeah, it's more for ourselves. It feels good that without dressing up as well. Go to the party.
I think it's just a way for people to humanize their pets a little bit more and make them feel like their pet is really like a family member for them.
Yeah, and they are. Look, for example, like I said earlier, when we introduced Ziwi pet food back in 2018, and some of our managers were like, "Oh, these are $70 for a 1 kilo," and believe it or not, we doubled our sales within a few weeks. So people are willing to spend money to take care of their pets.
Yeah, I think as time is going on, people are getting pets and realizing what the financial commitment is to get the best quality products.
Yeah.
The industry has grown significantly in terms of what people are willing to do, in terms of medical treatment, in terms of the quality of the food they want to use, in terms of the quality of the healthcare products that they want to use. People are geared towards giving their pets what they'd use for themselves. Yeah,
definitely. And do you think that the more and more people having pets now compared to say before, what's that driven by? What's causing it?
I think there was obviously a big drive to increase pet ownership during COVID. People wanted companions and all of that, but I think it's a natural progression for society. People are realizing the impact that pets can have in your life from a positive point of view, in terms of mental health. And in terms of, general cardiovascular health, there is studies out there to show the benefits of owning a pet for our own well-being. But I think also society is shifting a little bit in terms of some people have chosen not to have kids, and some people are delaying when they're going to have kids, or people are having smaller families, and having a pet is a way to kind of fill that gap as well.
Yeah. So this, can you differentiate the difference before COVID and after COVID?
I think, look, it's very well known that pet ownership increased during COVID. People were home. They wanted something extra to do. They wanted a companion, and a lot of people got pets. On the flip side, what's happened is a lot of people have gone back to work. Lockdowns have ended, and people have realized, oh goodness, I didn't intend to have an animal for 15 years. And a lot of pets have sadly ended up back in shelters as a result of that. But I think in general, pet ownership is increasing because we take better care of pets. There's a lot of awareness around how positive they can be for our own health, whether it's our mental health or our cardiovascular health. There's a lot of studies out there to show the positive impacts of having a pet. And I think also there are a lot of people who are choosing not to have kids or delaying when they have kids, and a pet is there as a really important part of their lives as well.
Are there any like a childcare? Are there any pet care facilities that you can drop your pets off and then pick them up after work?
Yeah, there's a lot of doggy daycares there.
Okay.
Dog walkers. People decide to have, say, play dates with friends and families' dogs, and one day they might go to one house and the other day they'll go to a different house. I think, with dogs, they're such social animals and they really benefit from that interaction. If they enjoy the company of other dogs, then going to a doggy daycare can be really helpful for them.
And so let's get more into your business and how do you, you got 4 kids, 4 pets, and running a business, and tell us more about how do you balance.
It's a chaotic life. Everyone always says to me, I don't know how you do it, but I've always been somebody that has juggled many things at once, and for me, I'm a very maternal person, as it's pretty obvious with so many dependents. And the animals come very naturally to me. It's something that I'm A, trained to look after them, but B, it's something that I was born with, to have this this looking after them and nurturing them. And kids are the best. I love having kids, and I love having a busy house, and we make it work. My husband works in the business with me. I get a lot of joy out of product development. I develop all the products myself, all the ideas. in terms of what the animals need have come from my clinical experience, my personal experience. And yeah, it's a busy life, but we somehow make it work.
You have a real purpose, and I think, you will live a very long life with having so many dependencies.
I hope.
Because there's a reason to get up in the morning, because there's, lives depend on your...
It's definitely a full life, I must say, and personal time is kept to a minimum. But yeah, I do head out to the gym as my kind of reset.
Yeah.
And I love the days that I work in the vet hospital, because for me that kind of is the reason that I do what I do with this brand.
Yeah. So you still work in a hospital?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Is that a full-time job?
No, so I work part-time in the vet hospital, because obviously I'm running this brand as well.
Yeah.
And I work in the emergency department, so I see some really sick and injured pets and wildlife. And yeah, it's my favorite day.
So how long have you been doing this business now?
So we launched the brand at the end of 2019.
Yep.
And we started off with the Dog by Dr. Lisa range, and then a couple of years later brought out the Cat by Dr. Lisa range.
Yep. Okay. And how do you go about developing this product? Like you said, you do all the product development. What kind of research do you do? Or is it just all very intuitive?
A lot of it is intuitive. It's me looking after my own pets and thinking, this would be amazing. I know I want other people to do what I'm doing here, or being in the vet hospital and realizing what I'm prescribing to my patients and what I think they would benefit. And also just having sort of general chats with my colleagues and the nurses and vets that I work with is where these ideas come to me. Yeah.
When I saw your weed cleaner for dogs, and I thought, wow, who is this person creating all these products? So, for example, you were looking after your pets at your house, and you felt there's a need for a weed cleaner, and then you went about developing one.
Exactly right. I mean, we just adopted 2 rescue puppies, and they were toilet training puppies is no small feat. So we'd done all the right things, but when you toilet train a dog, you need to be using a enzyme-based cleaner to neutralize the odor of the urine, because even if you use a regular detergent, we might not smell it, but dogs have a really good sense of smell, so they'll still smell the residual urine despite you just doing a surface clean. So within the veterinary industry, most people know that you need to neutralize that urine odor, but the products on the market had a lot of harsh chemicals. I was going through bottles of this stuff, and I thought to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if I brought out an enzyme-based cleaner that had like a natural formulation that wouldn't irritate the skin, that would be really mild to use in your home, and that looks nice too, because I would leave this bottle on my counter all the time, and I thought, it's not very attractive to have this out, but you need to have it handy so that you can clean up mess straight away. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure the bottle was beautiful, so that it was on display and you don't have to feel that you need to pack it away all the time.
Now you do have a beautiful packaging. They present really, really well on the shelf, and I think in any household they sit well.
Yeah, well, for me it was about bringing out pet products that resemble what we'd buy for our own products in our home, that they shouldn't be just locked in the laundry cupboard, never to be seen. Our pets are part of our family, and they deserve products that are as good as what we use on ourselves.
How did you go about designing products? Did you do it yourself, or did you bring on designers and worked with other consultants?
So I had this vision of, I wanted white packaging and really simple, bold branding in the text. My brother works in the advertising industry. He's very talented, and I told him this concept, and I said, help me bring this to life. And with him and a designer that he'd introduced me to, we were able to bring the brand visuals to life.
So you were very clear in your own mind about what the product was.
Exactly how it looks is exactly how I'd pictured it in my mind. So they really did bring it to life.
It's very uniform. The whole very similar to Kiwi. We black and a bit of white, and you are white with the with the black writing, the opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's something about that minimalism and that simplicity. Our bottles are also aluminium, so they feel really nice, but they're also environmentally friendly because you can recycle them. We have refills available too. So I wanted to reduce the impact that we were having on the environment as well. And we're actually B Corp certified now too, which is really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what are the things, so that's, that was going to be my next question about sustainability and ethical practices. What are the things you do within your business that you're proud of?
Yeah, so a big focus of ours is trying to minimize waste. So our wipes are 100% compostable. You can bury them in the soil and they'll break down, or they can just be composted. All the liquid products are biodegradable. The bottles are aluminium and they're recyclable, and we have refills available too. So even for our wee cleaner, you can refill those bottles. So we're really trying to minimize waste. Our poo bags are compostable. Everything we do, we think about that impact of the environment and how we can minimize that.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't think about all those things. So almost all your products are compostable or recyclable.
And refillable.
Refillable. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's how we were able to become a certified B Corporation.
Of course.
Also, we make sure we're socially responsible as well, and environmentally responsible.
Yeah. How big is your team now?
We're still quite a small team, so we've got about, say, 8 to 10 people in the business.
Yeah.
It's everyone that loves pets and have dogs or cats, and they bring their dogs to the office, and it's a really lovely working environment.
Yeah. So your products are obviously available in all Kiwi food stores, and we're very grateful to have your products. It really helps us stand out having different products. And you also have your products available online. Do you sell online?
Yeah, we have a website and we sell online, and then you also find us in vet hospitals.
Yeah, and pharmacies.
And pharmacies too.
And you mentioned Harrods in London.
Yes, we are at Harrods in London, which is very exciting. In gift stores, homeware stores, boutique food stores, just like yourselves, and obviously the veterinary hospitals as well.
Yeah. Harrod would have a very strict criteria to get the products. How did you get in?
Well, my husband runs the sales in the business, so I told him one day, Harrods is where we want to be, and he made it happen. So it's a real honour for our brand.
Yeah. So you're available in the UK,
in the UK and the US, and a few countries in Asia as well.
Okay, so you're a global business.
A global business in its infancy, but yes,
well, it is global if you're in more countries. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's good. And your goal is to keep growing.
Yeah,
globally.
There's been a lot of interest in the brand overseas as well. So and the way that Australians look after their pets is very similar to how countries overseas do as well. So they are really falling in love with our products, which is really exciting.
Yeah. What about Asia? Is South Korea a big market for you?
We're not in South Korea just yet, but certainly the Asian pet industry is growing significantly. There are certain countries that are definitely more inclined to owning cats, and others more inclined to owning dogs. In very early stages in Asia, we're in some stores in Hong Kong, and in Singapore, the culturally, the pet industry is definitely something that's growing over there.
Yeah, just globally, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we've seen a massive change since COVID in terms of how much money people are willing to spend on their pets. We ended up expanding our range in all categories in terms of we had Pooch and Hound with the ties and dog leashes, and you know what I mean. And they're all done well.
Yeah. I think it's all about that sort of awareness of how much pets give to us. And enrich our lives, and we want to give them the best things as well.
What's the next most innovative product that you're thinking of bringing?
We're bringing out some things to make food taste better. That's in the pipeline. Bringing out some other healthcare products. So what's buzzing around in my mind at any given moment is a lot of exciting new things, and there's expansion in the dog range and the cat range. So watch this space.
Okay, excellent. Can you share a little bit more about the food tasting better? Is that just you developing your food products yourself, or is it something that you'll have that
Yeah, so this is like an additive that you can put in their meals to add some variety and to help fussy eaters and, try and encourage them to lick their bowl clean and enjoy their meals.
That sounds amazing, because I know that I've heard over the years, because we retailer for a long time, and I've heard from pet owners that, my cat will only eat this. Cats are very, very fussy. So what you're basically developing for those fussy cats to add something to it, so that
there's a lot of fussy dogs as well. You'd be surprised. There's so many dogs that we've got a crumble treat, which you guys have, which is not made for fussy dogs. It's a low-fat treat, and you can give them small amounts as they do good things. But there are a lot of dogs that will say, sorry, I don't eat that, I'll only eat certain things. So we wanted to bring out something else that is more appealing to those fussy dogs as well.
Is that more to do with wet food and a dry, or is it more to do with some dogs like beef and pork? And
look, I mean, I've come across such a variety of dog palate choices. Some of them only eat dry food, some of them only eat certain types of meat, some of them only eat the food at a certain temperature. Just like kids, you can have some really, really fussy pets as well. So it can make it really challenging for their family members to try and feed them nutritionally balanced meals if they're only eating certain things. It's hopefully our new product will make meal times a little bit easier for those dogs.
Timeline?
August.
Okay, so we're just next month. All right, excellent.
Conversation separately.
I'm sure Morale will be talking to you already. So generally speaking, are dogs more fussier or cats are more fussier?
I would say as a species, probably cats are fussier. They're just a little bit more particular about what's going on in their environment when they eat. So you can get a cat that's hungry and loves the food and wants to eat it, but if something's going on in the room that's distracting them or not to their liking, then they could easily just refuse to eat the meal at that moment in time. Whereas a dog tends to be, if they like the food, there's not much that's going to stop them from eating it. Whereas cats tend to really need the whole eating space to be to their liking.
Okay. Do pets dream?
They do.
They do.
Pets do.
Is there evidence, like scientific, the brain's been scanned?
About dreaming, and you'll also see, like if you have a dog, you see that quite commonly, that they might like be wiggling their little toes and walking their feet while they're asleep, and that's when they're actually in REM sleep.
Okay. Do they imagine? If they can dream, that means they have the ability to imagine.
Yeah, I think that there are some really interesting books out there all about the dog's mind. There is some definite thinking around how dogs imagine, how dogs dream, how dogs are connected to people and trying to please us. It's really, really fascinating.
Wow. Can you share one most interesting thing that even surprised you?
I'm just fascinated by their sense of smell. For me, it's unimaginable how astute they are in scent detection. Like they can smell things that have been on a walk, for example, like on the ground that has been there from say 6 weeks before.
Wow.
It's quite amazing the sharpness, I guess, of their smell and the potency of what they can detect compared to us, which is they almost think through scent.
Wow.
Which is it's unimaginable to a species like us humans.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I think even with humans, when someone is, say, for example, a deaf or blind, their other senses become much, much stronger. Yeah. So I wonder if dogs and cats, because that's their, like a natural, inherent, like a skill or strengths that God have given them. Yeah. So I believe in God to live their life the way, you know what I mean? So they can pick up the vibrations and smells that we can't.
Yeah, no, it is the messages they get from sniffing a tree. They can probably work out how big the dog was there previously, if it was a male or female.
Wow.
It's quite remarkable what they can decode from a scent.
Yeah, that's their way of communicating with nature, I guess, receiving messages
and with each other as well.
Yeah. I read a book on trees, which is a separate thing, and I was fascinated by that, how the trees communicate with each other. So if the trees are, being attacked by insects on one tree, they release these chemicals within the leaf, and then the insects die.
It's amazing.
And then they're tested that the next tree, did the test on a chemical, it also changed, so somehow got communicated. They were being attacked, so they changed their chemistry of some sort to protect themselves. They've all been given ability to defend themselves against attacks.
The natural world.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable thing.
Yeah. So I should read a book on do you recommend a book that someone like
called Stanley Coren? He writes really quite amazing books about how dogs think. I think it's actually called How Dogs Think.
How Dogs Think. I must read that one then. So, what else can you share about the pets that with our customers, about your range, how they should be used, and
I think what we're trying to offer through the dog and cat range is that we like to think of a system-based approach. So we provide a lot of education to people on how to care for their dog's skin and coat, on whether or not, for example, they need a supplement, because not all pets need supplements. It's about looking at it from the whole picture, focusing on preventative care and really from when you have a puppy or your dog at the very beginning, or your cat, thinking about the bigger picture and the impact of what you're doing on them and how that can affect the rest of their life. And that's what we want to really communicate through our brand and the education that we offer as part of our community.
Yeah. And how do say for example, our customers who buy your products, how do they access that education?
We've got lots of information on our website. They can also get in touch with our customer service team. We also have a telehealth service available through our website. So if you need some pet advice 24/7, that's available to you. But by default, if you have any health concerns about your pet, we always recommend that you take them to the vet. I'm a vet myself, and it's really important that you don't wait too long, because our pets can't tell us what's wrong with them. And as a vet, our job is to communicate what your pet is going through to you as a pet owner, and try and bridge that gap so that we can try and work out what's wrong with them.
Yeah. Interesting point. How do you communicate with pets? How do you figure out what's going on with them?
So obviously they can't tell us.
No.
So a lot of people liken being a vet to being a pediatrician with babies, because you've got the pet guardians or pet owners as like the parents, in the same way that a child will have parents there talking on their behalf. And then we've got the patient there, which is a dog or a cat, or in the pediatrician's case, a baby, and we have the parents' history to go by, and then what we see physically going on with the pet. So there's no patient history like it would if you went to the doctor. You can tell them what you're feeling. They can't do that. So we rely a lot on our physical examination. We rely a lot on laboratory testing and pathology testing, and things like ultrasounds and diagnostic imaging, all of that, to try and gather as much information as we can, and we combine that information from what we're hearing from the pet parents to try and work out what the actual problem is.
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
Detectives.
Yeah, detectives. Like you said, the babies, they don't talk either, so you got to figure it out.
Exactly.
And the parents will give, the parents of those pets will give you information about how the behaviour changed, and you probably, with your experience and collected a lot of data and then some testing, you work it out what possibly could be going on.
And sometimes we can't. Sometimes, we, just like in people, but they become a bit of a diagnostic mystery, and we will just systematically try and work out what's going on with them. But sometimes there are diagnoses of exclusion, which means you rule out all the other things, and then you end up saying, well, this is a condition for a reason unknown.
Yeah.
That happens in people too.
Yeah, yeah. Do treatment end up going wrong with pets?
Look, it can happen in pets and in humans.
Yeah, it can.
Hopefully, it hasn't.
Never happened? That's good.
Yeah, look, it's a rarity. We have a really excellent medical facilities available for pets.
Yep.
Our training is excellent here in Australia too. So, but you can liken it to what happens in the human world. Although some people say that we tend to get things done quicker in the animal space than you do through the bigger human hospitals, because I guess it's more of a there's less bureaucracy usually in the veterinary health industry.
Yeah, that's great. You must be an inspiration, a role model for a lot of women out there with 4 kids, 4 pets, part-time job, as well as running a business and getting your products into Harrod. How does that feel? That's an amazing achievement.
Thank you. Look, sometimes I don't really stop to think about that. I'm just so busy that I keep going and doing all these things. But yeah, I'm proud of the brand that we've created, and obviously love working as a vet, and will continue to do that for as long as I can. Yeah,
I can tell you're very passionate, and you're looking to grow your product and expand your product and really make your products available to more pets, so they don't have to be washed with the human grade shampoos and all that stuff. Yeah,
they deserve the very best, just like we do.
Yeah. Today's Saturday. How did you manage to get time to come out to see us?
For parents, babysitters, husband. We wrangle it all together somehow.
Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to come and spend your time and share all your wisdom and all these wonderful products that you are creating for pet care.
Thank you, and thank you for honouring us and supporting our brand. It means a lot to us as well.
You're welcome. All right, thank you.
Thank you. That was great.